On the program, INEC tells Tribunal that Tinubu scored 25% in 29 states to qualify as president-elect, as no infraction substantial enough to nullify the 2023 presidential poll, and wants Obi frivolous petition dismissed. I've been hanging out with Dari Odufor-Okon and Paul Dada. So if you're ready, let the hangout start now. Thank you for staying with us. When speculations are rife, such situation gives room for nothing but confusion. Such scenario is playing out regarding the race for the leadership of the 10th National Assembly. The All Progressive Congress, APC, says it will make a decision on zoning the leadership of the 10th National Assembly at the end of the Ramadan fasts. The APC stressed that this will be done before June, when the next assembly will be inaugurated. Dari. The party will be taking the position on zoning, and everybody.
We've been waiting. We've been waiting, and the contenders have been waiting too, irrespective of their decision to start campaigning, as we can say, before the party decides on its zoning arrangement. But you would also understand that the party made it clear that they will zone the positions at a meeting of the leadership with the members-elect. The national chairman made that very clear. And he did cautioned those with aspiration not to jump the gun. He warned against a repeat of what happened in 2015 when people ended up defying the party's position. That has generated a lot of anxiety, because in spite of this intervention then, the party is yet to explain how it intends to go about the zoning. And then if you look at the race for the leadership of the 10th Assembly, already we have people jostling for the Senate presidency across all zones. The South, the North, the Northeast, the Northwest, North Central, Southeast, South. I think it's only the jostling for the leadership of the two chambers. And that you cannot understand. That having picked the presidency, it's just fair that we stay out of the... But of course, we have a gentleman from the Southwest who has also declared that he's interested in the speakership. Olawiyi. And or he's been, let me say, he's been touted to be interested, because he's yet to tell anybody he's interested. So, be that as it may, you will see that the bulk of those who want to lead the two chambers are from other zones, excluding the Southwest. And the campaign is already aggravated. The claims and the desires for the position is already pushing people to offer explanations why it should first come to their zone. And that is heightening the tension within the party. I think the party coming to say, look, we would announce the zoning after Ramadan fast is also a way of dousing the tension. The tension is really getting serious. And if the party is saying after Ramadan fast, that's in the matter of days, 8 days, 9 days, the Ramadan fast will be over. But it is important for APC to know that a stitch in time will save nine. They must make haste and end the speculations. It is not as if announcing the zoning arrangement will end competition. No, it will reduce the tension. It can now narrow the competitions. Of course, like someone said, is that most of those declaring intentions are positioning themselves, not just for the Senate presidency or the speakership, but for other principal officers of the National Assembly. And I agree with him. You know why? If you say, I am going for the Senate presidency, and you have moved around the country talking to people, you have been together, and then the party comes and says, no, you are from so zone, what we zone to your area is Deputy Senate President. Automatically you are positioned to vie for that too, having come out for the Senate presidency. So same thing goes for those angling for the speakership. Whatever is zoned to their geopolitical zone, they will be in pole position to, lay claim to it and probably get it. So that's what I see playing out.
So the decision of the party, I don't know, is this sacrosanct? We've had a situation whereby the People's Democratic Party in those days, but at the point in time they chose Mudikat Adiola, that's the preferred candidate. The opposition parties, in line with some PDP renegades, went ahead and they chose what's it called?
Dimitri Bankole,
Is it Dimitri Bankole?
No, no.
Tambuwa,
yeah.
Aminu Tambuwa at that time.
It also happened with Saraki.
The same thing, the party wanted this Lawal and Senator Saraki galvanized support from across the political parties, and he emerged the Senate president.
The same thing, the party wanted Baja.
Yeah. For speakership.
And Dogara got it.
Dogara got it.
So how sacrosanct is the decision of the APC
they say
on
that
the National Assembly?
The negative part of history repeats itself when people don't learn from it. The truth of the matter is that it is in the interest of everybody jostling for the position. I think it's, as of the last count, I think it's 8 persons. Yeah, if what I say is right, I think it's 8 persons across the geopolitical zones that are jostling for the exalted office of the Senate president. The thing is, the only way to avoid it, I would also, for people to bury their interests for the common good.
Can't the National Assembly members within their own chamber decide this is how we want our leadership without the party interference?
Of course, the way it's structured is that the party must have a say. In fact, I've even heard people say that the president-elect must have a say. And I know that one of them said that even if the president-elect says, I should not vie, I would fall in line. The way Nigerian politics is structured is such that you can't allow just what's it called now? Only the members of the National Assembly members to take the decision. It's not like imposing. It's going to be discussions. Already, the party has set certain criteria for deciding who could emerge as the Senate president. The issue of ranking, the issue of zone, the issue of religion. All of these are important. It is still going to be the decision of the senators. But then, it is also important that they work according to the principles and values of the party. They are not independent of the party, so to speak. They wrote on the platform of the party. So they cannot be working at cross purposes with the party. Because when you do that, it shows that you lack organization. And it shows that it speaks to your credibility. It speaks to the issue of harmony. You understand? So people must definitely, certain persons must definitely bury their interest. And I think that a stitch in time saves 9. It's not something that should dilly-dally. If, for example, after Ramadan, as it's been said, they decide that it's going to be this zone. If other people from other zones, they know that, okay, fine, it's been zoned to this particular region. Then they start probably vying for other positions. So it narrows down the competition to a few persons. I think that the party has a say because they wrote on the platform of the party. It's not a dictation. It's about discussion and coming to an agreement.
We want to buttress
disagreement. I have to add that, you see, sometimes when we copy, we should not be selective, too selective in copying what is good. The presidential system of government we practice in Nigeria is copied from the United States. And we all can see how they select leaders of the 2 chambers. Apart from the vice president, who is automatically the Senate president, the leadership of the House is always determined by the party. We have not seen a situation where he decides that no, the party has chosen a House leader, I'm not going in that direction, I want to run. No. And if you look at the current, you see, there are examples in Nigeria of people defying their party. We spoke about how Tambuwa emerged. And we have also spoken of how Dogara stole the show from Bajabi Amir. On both occasions, people had to do anti-party. And anti-party activities in a democracy, in party democracy, is a serious offense against yourself and the party. In this situation, if you look at the current configuration of the National Assembly, the next National Assembly, which is the 10th Assembly, where APC is having 57 senators, with 57 senators, APC had two-thirds majority in the Senate. So with that, we can conveniently say APC will determine who will be the Senate president, provided members of the party do not decide to team up with the opposition to embarrass their own party. And like you said, they rode on the platform of
their party.
Of their party. So any attempt to say, no, I am not going to support the person preferred by the party would simply mean you are running against the party. And to do that, you must team up with the opposition. And that is not tidy. That is setting the pace for an administration that will be troubled, just like we saw when Saraki had to get PDP members. He went as far as offering them the Deputy Senate President, which Ike Keremadu picked.
Yes.
So such arrangements would show you that we are setting the pace for a troubled government, and that we need in the next dispensation. That is where the issue is. The APC has not been able to get two-thirds majority.
Exactly.
What the APC is having in the House of Rep is a simple majority,
yes.
which can be threatened
easily.
Out of 360, how many do we have so far?
So far, out of 360, the APC is having 132 or so. So I know they don't have two-thirds.
No,
the others,
they
don't have two-thirds. The others coming together would easily threaten the chances of the PDP, of the APC with I think it's 102 or something. I will get that clear. So what I'm saying is, if it is possible, for example, we have indications that the leading opposition party, the PDP, is ready to make it difficult for APC to have its way. So they will only with a simple majority, APC will win the speakership if all its men stays true to the party's decision. They don't need two-thirds to get a speaker. What they need is a simple majority. But if any one of them decides to, work with the opposition, with the number of lawmakers that the PDP, the Labour Party, the SDP, and others are having, if they get a chunk of members elect from the APC who are, for whatever reason, becomes aggrieved, they can rock the boat.
It's clear that only the APC can defeat
itself
the APC in that
because they would need members of APC to disagree and disobey party instructions for the opposition to even get any principal office, any, apart from the minority leadership, which is sacrosanct.
Okay. The outcome of the 2023 presidential election is still being disputed, but not by all parties involved. The national chairman of the Social Democratic Party, SDP, Gabam, said the party will not challenge the outcome in courts. Gabam said the party stands by the laws that establish the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, and acknowledged that it is the only institution that conducts an election and declare results. As such, INEC has declared Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the winner of the election. SDP saying that.
Honestly, I look forward to less litigations. Less litigation
First of all, let's look at the stake of the SDP.
No. The SDP actually said that the SDP acknowledged that the election was not perfect. I read a statement, acknowledged that the election was not perfect. I think all of us, I don't think, even INEC knows that the election wasn't perfect. SDP said that it agreed that APC had emerged as the winner. The SDP said it was only going to contest the some of the legislative victories that others won, because it believed that some of his candidates were rigged out or something like that. So SDP, of course, SDP knows that it was not a strong contender for the presidential position. It was never one of the three strong parties. However, that is SDP's choice. I mean, if it would be very ridiculous, risible for SDP to say it's going to contest against the result of the election. However, we can't fault people who decided to go to the courts. What we are against are the rhetorics that people are pushing, approbating and reprobating. You've gone to the courts. Everybody knows you've gone to the court. That's the right thing to do. That's the decent thing to do in a civilized society. Nobody can fault Labour Party or the PDP for going to the courts. Even if we don't agree with their arguments, even if we don't agree with their viewpoints, it's our opinion. But we cannot say that it is wrong for them to go to the court. What we find very, very, very upsetting, sorely upsetting, are the rhetorics by some of them, or people who say that, who make incendiary comments that are capable of overheating the polity, comments that are capable of inviting that anarchy to the country. If you've gone to the court, let the system work. And that is what the sanest, most reasonable people are saying. INEC is the only institution empowered to declare winners of elections. It's not me, it's not Ayo, it's not Dati, it's not Obi, it's not Tinubu, it's none other than INEC. It's not the presidency. So, the only way you can invalidate or you can impeach the decision, SDP is fine. That's SDP's opinion, and it's fine. SDP does not even have any stake. It cannot even dare to say that it wants to contest the outcome of the election. Those who feel they won, who are convinced they won, have gone to the courts. So we'll see how that pans out.
Gary.
In a situation where you have somebody who came third in a race asking to be declared the winner, you cannot conveniently say SDP doesn't have a stake. I think they have a very strong stake, the Nigerian way. They could have also gone to court to add to the litigations. I'm impressed by what SDP has decided to do, and I think it is exemplary. There is no political party who goes into any election, be it governorship or presidential, with the intention of losing. The candidate of the Social Democratic Party, Adewale, went all over the country campaigning.
Adewale,
he campaigned more than some of the people we are actually calling frontliner. And a very sound and intelligent individual. I met him thrice during his campaign. And I must tell you, here is somebody who also has great intentions.
Capable.
And why one would not want to blow his trumpets for him, I think he contested that election. He contested that election believing that he was going to win. I met him once or twice, and you need to see his optimism. He believed very strongly that he was running on the platform of a very popular political party. And you must give it to his enthusiasm. He ran the race very, very certain that he was going to do well. But it's an election. There will be winners and there will be losers. And what he's simply doing alongside his party is telling you, look, when we lose elections, it must not always end in litigation. He's trying to set this example that there are people who look after the election.
I think they want some seats in the national.
I'm coming to that. No, they have 2 Senate seats. That's more than some other parties who paraded 2 Senate seats and about 4 rep seats, and they have a handful of assembly seats.
That's strong.
2 senates. In fact, in Nasarawa State, they want 2 seats. They want their 2 seats in Nasarawa State, not central. And they are from the southwest. So that's to tell you that it is not a party without stake. It's a party with stake in the incoming administration. Their 2 senators are going to be very, very instrumental should the opposition decide to rock the boat in any of the 2 houses. Their 2 senators and House of Reps member are going to play certain roles. So I think we should applaud the SDP for showing that example that with their decision, they have reduced the number of litigations, the number of time that will have been wasted, the number of resources, the number of judges that will have been stressed and all that. There are 18 political parties in Nigeria that participated in the presidency. I saw one party that I'm sure did not get up to 2,000 votes, also in court, challenging the presidential election.
I think at the end of the Supreme Court will consolidate.
I think they are going to consolidate, but if there are 9 cases, it will take more time to consolidate than 3 cases.
I have yet to see any presidential candidate that will not express some kind of optimism that they will win. Yes, but it doesn't mean that they should not be realistic after
losing the election.
As far as I'm concerned, what SDP has done is being realistic.
And that's something we should applaud.
Yeah.
Being realistic.
No, I agree.
Yes. We have a first caller. Undu is calling us from Nasarawa State.
Yes, Oga Ayo, good afternoon, sir. Happy Easter, sir.
Thank you.
And,
go ahead, please.
Dale, is it Dale? Good afternoon, sir. And the other person. Dale, you are looking young, these days, every day. What a secret, sir.
Thank you very much.
My name is Hundu. My name is Hundu. I'm calling from Nasarawa State, local government.
Okay.
Yes, you see, what you have said is correct because the 2 ACP people that won, in Nasarawa State here. And unfortunately, they were members of the APC. But there was disagreement that pushed them to SDP.
That means they're very popular.
They have been contesting under APC. Yes, they have been very popular. It was as a result of disagreement. That shows that the election. Lawyers will keep pushing them to court so that they can keep smiling to the bank, even when they know the truth. Because I was on ground, and I know that Tinubu did very well. And I'm surprised that some people will not accept that this man has won the election. And they are saying, that is not the sole in. And they are saying many type of things. And I've been saying that if they conduct this election again, Tinubu will still win. Because like the person that comes third, Labour Party is not popular in many states that I know. Labour Party is not on ground in many states. So how do you intend to win? And lastly, Ayo, one thing is that Labour Party and PDP, they did not get the mandatory 25% in 25 states. Go and check it. They did not get. So how can you declare them the winner? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your contribution. And when we are looking at it and you want to say that, if this politicians are very, very optimistic.
They are very optimistic. I think also some of them, their optimism is just grandstanding, to say the truth. There are people who I believe just came out to contest so that it can be in their political CV that they were once presidential candidates. There are people like that.
Okay, when I saw the results, when I saw the results, because it took me days to analyze the presidential election results, and when I saw it, and I now looked at a man called Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso.
Yeah.
The way Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso came into the presidential race, he was meant to form an alliance with Peter Obi, but that did not work. But when the result came out, the reality became so clear that this is a man that was in charge of just Kano State. He held on to Kano State and
delivered it to himself.
It's so reverberating from the National Assembly down to the State House of Assembly, and he was able to win the governorship.
Ayo, if you recall.
But any other states, I did not see the presence.
Ayo, if you recall, before the election, I said it here that I was talking about NNPP. I was asking that who was the big face of NNPP in the Southwest? Who was the big face of the NNPP in the South-South? Who was the big face of the NNPP in several other regions? Apart from Kano or Northwest, Jigawa, where it is very strong.
And they did
Now,
well. They did well.
They did well.
They did well in
I
Taraba.
personally,
Taraba State.
I might be wrong, but I personally
for
think
Taraba, it was the candidate. He was in the APC. They had issues. He left for, and he was able to.
I personally think that the NNPP knew that was not going to win this election.
Of course.
I think that Rabi Kwankwaso had his own agenda, which he had achieved with Kanu. Rabi Kwankwaso was going to prove a point with Kanu.
I feel that just to get back at Ganduje.
Exactly.
We may be wrong to say he's getting back. He's a politician. He was losing grip of his stronghold, and he needed to get it back. Look, NNPP would never have won Kano if Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso was not contesting the presidency. In 2019, they tried the same thing. He was in PDP. He was not a presidential candidate. They went into run-off, almost won, but they never did. There was need for the galvanization. There was need to galvanize Kano for him. This person running for governorship
the same
is
person
me.
In 2019.
This is me. Vote for, and he had to be on the ballot. So under the guise of I am running for president, he went everywhere in Kano with the NNPP candidate.
Even Senator
Shekarau, who declined,
he had 400 and something thousand votes.
He won the election in Nigeria before the court gave it to Hanga. He won. Kano Central. That's somebody
that's
who
almost like a governorship result.
Yes, that's what we are winning governorship with in other states. So what I'm trying to say is NNPP scale, and that's why you've not had NNPP saying he's going to call for presidential. What they've said is that they are still studying
They achieved
and
their
they know they are not interested
in
contesting the presidency. They wanted the governorship of Kano, the National Assembly members that will come from Kano, the House of Assembly in Kano. Kwankwaso wanted to return as the political godfather of that state. He was from 1999, only shaken once. 2023, when Shekara defeated him, stopped his second-term ambition, he was dislodged. Shekara was in charge for 8 years. But Kwankwaso, being the politician he is, was able to
stage
a comeback, win his second term, install a successor in Ganduje, the current governor, who eventually did him in again, pushed him aside. And from 2015, he's been struggling to reclaim the state. And he must have fantastic strategists added to himself, because the only way Kano will have gone his way is for him to be on the ballot.
Exactly.
And that's what he did. And it worked perfectly well. So watch out for somebody like Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso. He's a politician, and I know him very well. I can place a bet that he is not going to prove too difficult with the NNPP. He's going to go into a merger very soon. Just write it down. He knows that that party will not fly outside his own immediate environment of Kano, Jigawa. So he will do the needful.
All right, let's take this breather. When we come back, we'll discuss more.
Words cannot express how we feel. Before the bridge, the road from here, Nasarawa to Loko, is about 74 kilometers. This is the link between Nasarawa and Loko. The bridge, which is about 35 kilometers across the river Benue, has been on for about 10 years now. Before now, if you live here for Loko, 74 kilometers, and somebody leaves Nasarawa for Kaduna, he will get to Kaduna before you get to Loko. The implication of the completion of this bridge is the cutting of the travel distance by about 3 hours. Our people from Nasarawa can now travel from here to Onitsha and come back on. The economic and social consequences of this milestone development can hardly be compared to the ease with which people move has opened the area, and many people are coming around now to invest in agriculture. Where to score this government on this achievement, we will score them extremely high, because it has changed the dynamics of the social and economic activities of our people.
After a fruitful Ramadan day, Replenish your body with the right nutrients. Make this your best Ramadan yet. Ramadan Kareem from Hollandia Dairy and Chivita Fruit Juice.
Well, stay with us. If you're just joining us, this is Journalist Hangout. We're reaching you live from our studios here in Nigeria. Now, I still have Dari Odufokon and Paul Dada in the studio. And we're talking about this Social Democratic Party. Our last take on the other party, 18 political parties actually participated in that exercise. Now, out of 18, we had just 3 that made the impression. Let's say 4.
Yes.
Made that needed impression when you look at the number of states and when you look at the chart and how they were able to make a kind of impact.
Yes. And among the 4, 1 is a winner, 2 are contesting the outcome.
The winner got 25% in
25% 29 states.
Everywhere required.
Yeah.
In 29 states.
29 states.
The runner-up got it in 21, and the state in 15. But they are disenchanted. They are disgruntled. Well, if I were to, I can't even advise them because I can't advise them because if you analyze their reasons, if you analyze that election, I think it's my sincere opinion that Asiwaju truly won that election. But of stolen mandate, stolen mandate, that they are allowed, what I will concede to is their right to hold another opinion.
Okay, in our next report now, the firepower regarding the 2023 presidential election litigation has begun. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has asked the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal in Abuja to dismiss all petitions challenging the declaration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu of the All Progressive Congress, APC, as the winner of the February 25th presidential polls. INEC affirmed that having scored at least 1/4 of the valid votes cast, that is 25% in 29 states, which is over and above the 24 states threshold required by the Constitution. This in addition to scoring the highest number of lawful votes cast at the election. Hence, Tinubu was properly declared winner and returned as the president-elect. INEC in court now is buttressing this, and they've gone ahead to explain the yardstick of declaring Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the winner of that presidential election, and they actually clearly stated to the tribunal the status of the Federal Capital Territory.
What we must first establish is that by approaching to fault Tinubu's victory, the political parties challenging election are not only trying to deny Tinubu the presidency, they're also trying to prove to the whole world that INEC and its handlers are incapable of conducting elections. Those are the issues on the table. INEC is a serious party to this case because should the outcome go otherwise, the whole world will be convinced that they didn't do a good job.
They did a short job.
They also have the duty of defending that mandate, which they truly, truly believe is earned by Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Having said that, it is also for all of us to look at the election. I see a lot of things on social media. I say that while we are all free to express our opinions, we must be conscious of how we are painting the country.
Yeah, that's that.
In my opinion, Ayo, and I'm saying this on national TV, irrespective of what anybody will say, the 2023 general election now, especially the presidential election, is something we as Nigerians should be proud of. We had an election at a time when money, we keep saying the role of money in election is this, is that. We had an election at a time money was scarce. When we could prove conveniently that money, the role money played was minimal. And yet, We are saying it is not acceptable. We had an election where a principal candidate of the ruling party lost his own base. The president of the country, his party lost his own state. The national chairman of the ruling party lost his own base.
And several governors.
And several governors lost their state. And several governors running for Senate lost their bid. Yes. And yet we still cannot see the goodness. We had an election, a presidential election, where a party that came to prominence in less than 6 months in the general election, running with somebody who joined the party barely 6 months, 3 months to the general election, defeated somebody who has been campaigning for years in his home state, winning in states far beyond. As an analyst before the election, I must say, and I keep saying it, that I own up to goofing in the area of saying Obi will not win in the north. He won. Look at the spread. He went to Taraba and won. He won in Plateau. He won in Nasarawa.
He didn't win in Taraba.
He won in Taraba.
He won in Nasarawa and Plateau.
Check it. Okay. So you will understand the fact that he had the spread. That's the example I'm trying to. He won Lagos. Lagos. A stronghold, threshold, traditional base of the APC. He won it. So we had an election that proved to all of us that if you campaign well, if the people are enamored
behind you
and they line up behind you, you can win any election. That is the lesson, the takeaway from the 2023 election for us. But because we are disenchanted with a few things, we want to throw away the baby with the bathwater. We will come back to regret the day we decide to rubbish this thing we should be celebrating one day. I'm sure of that. Having said that, talking about INEC stance before the tribunal, it is the way to go. And all of us must submit ourselves to the tribunal, which is the judiciary now, to take a decision on what has happened. And we must stop jumping the gun. Some of the, like Paul said, some of the claims and rhetorics are not good for us. If you are dissatisfied with an election, you have gone to the court, you have approached the judiciary, you must be patient enough to wait and allow the lawyers do the fireworks. The lawyers know what to say and what not to say. But a lot of the commentaries you see outside the courtroom will make you feel that some people actually don't love this country.
Okay, when some people are saying that if the president-elect, if he's sworn in on May 29, that will be like a robbery on democracy. And I looked at that statement, and all the elections we've been having since 1999, anybody that is declared by INEC must be sworn in. Or, you know, we've had them. There's never been a situation where there are days that have been allocated for this case to be dispensed of. 21 days to use to file your petition. You have now 180 days at the tribunal and another 60 days at the Supreme Court. So why is it that people are clamoring that it should not be sworn in at all?
You see, many people behave in a way that
this is the first time.
Many people talk in a way that disgraces whatever education they think or they claim they had. So if the declared winner is not sworn in on May 29, what should happen? We should have a vacuum, or we should
reconsider crisis,
or Buhari should continue, or we should bring the military. I don't understand. You know, it doesn't. The more you think about it, the more senseless it looks. You know,
I think that's what gave birth to the idea of interim national
government.
Okay,
that is not in our constitution.
Kola is calling us from Lagos. Kola Olatunjoye is calling us from Lagos. Joining us, Kola.
I have no caller. My name is Prince Olatunjoye.
Oh, Prince Olatunjoye. I beg your pardon. I'm sorry.
Yes. Yeah. Good evening, General Hangout.
Yes. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you. I quite appreciate both of you talking since this afternoon. I just want to lend my contribution because I actively participated in 25 February presidential election. Okay. And as far as I'm concerned, I participated in 1993 general election that produced MK Abiola. There had never been any election that is as credible, as reliable as that of 25 February election that produced Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Most of the election conducted by Obasanjo those days, in fact, they are not election at all. They are just handpicking. And they just, okay, this is the number of, okay, so person, you are one already. And they will, INEC will just pronounce them winning. In fact, Maurice Wu is the most criminology electoral umpire in the world. And those people were clapping hands for them. And some of the people criticizing this presidential election now are those people who got appointment on that same election that produced the worst government in Nigeria. Worst government. Most criminology government in Nigeria. So if somebody says it's not pleased with this 25 February election, he says it's not pleased. I wonder how that person will please. I know how they manipulate Obi. They say he won in Lagos. Obi did not win in Lagos. I can tell you something.
INEC declared Obi in Lagos.
Everything in Lagos, go to court.
Started carrying some people.
Okay. Thank you, Prince Oladujoye. Thank you. Thank you for your contribution. But for the record, INEC declared Peter Obi.
Everybody has an opinion. Everybody has an opinion. Exactly. And we cannot stop people from having an opinion. He said Obi did not win in Lagos. INEC said Obi won in Lagos. The only way you can say what you have said is correct is if the court says it is correct. Yeah. Obi, as far as we are concerned, 25th presidential election, Obi won in Lagos. No. Now, as far as we are concerned, until the court say otherwise, if at all the court says so, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is in the year. You can't just say that bring it into the national government.
The court will not even make the proclamation before
I don't know why people will be. I don't know why people will constitute themselves.
That's left for the court.
As if they do, they have time.
Fine.
You are the complainant.
You
are the complainant. You are the judge. You are the jury. Where is that done? And why?
No, if the courts, don't forget that this is the court of appeal.
And then the Supreme Court.
That's what I'm telling you. Even though if they make pronouncement before that day,
we have 1 month or so to May 29. I am, one of the reasons for the last constitutional amendment by the National Assembly is to ensure that all cases are done with before swearing in. Yes. We are gradually moving in that direction. Hoping that the courts, both the appeal and the Supreme, will do away with these cases before May 29. Hopefully. If it happens, fine. But what we are saying on this table is, if that does not happen, it does not make any reason for anybody to say, don't swear in. We returned to democracy in 1999. The first election in 1999, there were litigations. Somebody was sworn in on May 29.
Exactly.
In 2003, there were litigations. 2011, 2007, even 2019, the last one.
You remember Yar'Adua? Yar'Adua had even admitted that the elections were flawed.
That brought him, were flawed.
But
he was sworn in.
Nobody.
And he didn't resign.
Exactly.
At that time when he made that statement, cases were pending in court against him. Exactly. He didn't say because those elections are flawed,
they've not specified time frame.
Resign.
But that time, it used to go on and on and on. So, Aregbesola pursued his mandate for 48
almost
months.
More than 3.
I think we need to rejig our
no, they've done it.
That's more.
It's starting down now. 180 days.
Even for the presidential election, if there is a way, I know that it's not. If there's a way we can restructure such that all judicial matters.
I'll start and end at the Supreme Court.
And they will make pronouncement before. No. So that decisions can be taken, conflicts can be resolved before because you know why it's very important. Okay. We've seen cases like it was in the case of so many governors who enjoyed the
Bandits, they never won.
For example, look at the running mate of the Labour Party now. The running mate to
Dati.
Dati.
He was in the Senate.
He was in the Senate
For more than 2 years.
before the court booted him out.
Before he was removed.
And he still calls him. He's not supposed to.
No.
Because as far as
He was never
he was an
elected.
illegal occupant of that seat.
He was never elected.
He was never elected, but he still calls himself Senator Dati.
Beyond
All right.
calling himself a
All right,
senator,
let's
he's
just
also calling for
Derek,
action against election
Let's
riggers.
quickly go for this final break. We'll be right back.
Are you ready to win big? It's Max Millions.
Give me that money. Pay off bills.
We're giving away 1 million naira to our lucky listeners. To win a share of the 1 million naira, tune in to 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja from 6 a.m. Listen out for the winning song, be the 10th caller, beat the clock, and you could win big with Max Millions.
Money.
Okay, he said stop, 25,000 naira. Come on,
Max Millions, only Max FM.
As they count down to the inauguration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as Nigeria's 16th president continues, more and more world leaders are showing solidarity with him in recognition of his well-deserved win. The United States, United Kingdom, China, Ukraine, France, Ghana, Sierra Leone, Cuba, Nicaragua, Namibia, and a host of others have already sent in their congratulatory messages. The ECOWAS Parliament and other ECOWAS bodies, the D8, that is, the Developing Aid Organizations for Economic Cooperation, the African Union, are among organizations that have recognized Bola Tinubu's impressive win in the presidential election held on the 25th of February, 2023.
The United States congratulates the people of Nigeria, President-elect Tinubu, political leaders following the declaration by Nigeria's Independent National Electoral Commission, or INEC, on the results of the February 25th presidential election. This competitive election represents a new period for Nigerian politics and democracy. Each of the top 3 candidates was the leading vote-getter in 12 states, a remarkable first in Nigeria's modern political era, reflecting the diversity of views that characterize the campaign and the wishes of Nigeria's voters.
Namibia also looks forward to a good working relationship with the incoming government of President-elect His Excellency Asiwayo Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
The goal of world leaders is to partner with a prosperous Nigeria, the economic giant of the African continent. Tinubu's presidency is expected to usher in unprecedented growth and development across all critical sectors.
Yes, this is the final lap of Journalist Hangout, and we are still looking at the Independent National Electoral Commission. They are replying the petition of the Labour Party. Now, talking about the controversial FCT, you know, I checked before that election, I discovered that even President Muhammadu Buhari did not win FCT. Yeah. The FCT during his time that was declared as the president.
No, it's got up to 25%.
Yes, what I'm saying that all of a sudden, this FCT issue just boom from the blues, and people used it that, oh, even though you score you have all that requirement, but you've not had that FCT, the special status and everything, it's expected that the court will be able to make a pronouncement on this now.
You know, people who are contesting the outcome of an exercise will always find reasons. It is the way of lawyers to look for holes to pick in your claims. I do not think that that argument is valid, because you are simply saying that residents of FCT are more important than those who reside in other parts of the country. So what if I contest an election and I win 35 states? Let's say
like what INEC is pointing out here now, that INEC pointed out that the Federal Capital Territory is regarded as the 37 states of the Federation, and as such, a candidate needs to score 25% of the valid votes cast in 2/3 of 37 states to be declared winner in the presidential election.
I can't disagree.
That's what INEC is saying.
I can't disagree with the INEC because it's also there in the Constitution.
Yeah, the Constitution is clear.
The FCT will be taken as a state. Yes, it's taken as a state. It's somewhere in the Constitution.
But a lot of people are saying that and the Federal Capital Territory.
Yeah,
listen here, if I go ahead and say Paul, Ayo, Dare are here, it doesn't make me more special than the two names earlier mentioned. It only added me to the two of you to make three of us. And that's, I've waited for INEC's response on it, and reading it, I was quite happy. What INEC has simply explained is that you need 24 states, 25% in 24 states to be declared winner. If you win 25% in 23 states, and
you also win
in FCT, you are qualified. And the FCT, because FCT does not have a state appellation, that is why the "and" is coming in, so that you don't go and think that FCT, should somebody go and win 23 and then win Abuja, that is why that classification is there. And the FCT too is, sorry, please, having said that, INEC also made it clear that it is important that you win 25% in 24 states. A look at the contenders will show you that should anybody, it cannot succeed in faulting Tinubu's election before any judge. Let us assume, without considering that it happens that we find error with the election of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. What happens? Are we going to bend the constitution to allow people who didn't get 25% in the required number of states to be sworn in? The answer is no. So you begin to look at how deficient the cases are. PDP is not talking about Abuja in their own petition because they've been contesting election. Labour Party, with due respect to everybody there, is a newcomer to the presidential race and litigations. So it's understandable if, and then they are clinging to all available straws. Understandable. It's part of democracy. It is part of trying to use the court to score points. But how far the Labour Party or any party will go in using that to discredit the election? We had our caller telling us that from 1993, when that result, election that produced MK Abiola was held, till today, he is seeing 20, and I agree with him perfectly because a lot of things made it possible for us to see that we can actually hold elections in this country that will be free, that will be fair, and it will carry. All we need to be thinking of is improving on what we had on. I am not talking about other elections. February 25, it's one election we should study. What were those things that we did that we weren't doing before that gave us the kind of outcome we had? We need to study it, that beautiful historically, because some of us are not in agreement with the result.
A lot of people say because of the victory of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu is not, you can't describe it as a landslide victory. That means the country is divided.
Yeah.
When you see the number of votes Asiwaju garnered, PDP and Obi, it's a divided country that the president-elect should concentrate first on how to unite the country moving forward.
Yes, that is actually the truth. Because one of the reasons why this is so is because of the general discontent in the land. Let's not pretend about this. Before this, what threw up a mind like Obi, what made people follow Obi, a lot of young people follow Obi, is because of the general anger in the land. People are not satisfied with the performance of the incumbent government. In fact, the evil cashless policy that Emefiele, and Buhari introduced also exacerbated issues.
Honestly.
And,
aggravated the poverty.
Exactly. The point is that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will have a lot of uniting to do. Because a lot of people, the people who think that he did not win, the people who think that the mandate of Obi was stolen, the people who are disgruntled, people who are even rolling drums of war are Nigerians. They are Nigerians. And many of them are lovers of this country. That's the truth. They want the best for themselves. They want the best for their children. We may not agree with their methods, we may not agree with their rhetorics, but they are Nigerians. And the president must find a way to, the president, when he becomes president, must find a way to unite them, to unite Nigerians. There must be some healing.
Paul Dada, I want to thank you for your contribution. Dari Odufoko, thank you for your contribution today. And that's our offering today. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program. You can watch the repeat broadcast tonight, 10 p.m. Join us this Sunday for Journalist Hangout on Sunday from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. On YouTube, youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I'm Ayodele Ozubako. Bye for now.
I need something we go ginger me. We tom I dey breathe for it now. I dey run kilometer. That's why I dey come.
The following is a paid presentation by ShopX TV. Do you struggle with having an active and healthy lifestyle due to your busy schedule? Do you find it difficult to make it to the gym? You want to improve your overall health, but don't know where to start? Medical experts agree that walking, running, and jogging are amongst the best ways to stay fit and enjoy a great active and healthy lifestyle. What if there was a convenient and affordable way to improve your health, improve your mood, and lose weight right in your own home? Introducing the SportX Digital Compact Treadmill, the compact foldable treadmill that makes being active and losing weight fast and easy. Just unfold it and walk, jog, or run while you watch your favorite programs on TV. And when you're done, just fold it and store it away. Now that's convenience. The secret is its advanced design that houses a 1 horsepower motor that is twice the size of most treadmills, packed into a nice compact unit, powering every step you take. You get the SportX Digital Compact Treadmill System complete with a rugged commercial-grade ultra-durable traction belt, large LCD multifunctional display that displays speed, time, distance, calories, and has 12 different exercise programs, as well as a magnetic safety key for added security.
The SportX treadmill has really helped me get back in shape after childbirth. I love it because it's compact and can fit anywhere in the house. And when I'm done, I fold and put it away. Easy peasy.
This is the best piece of equipment for people like me who want to stay active without leaving the home. I simply unfold it and use it while I watch my favorite program on TV.
Joining a gym can cost an absolute fortune, and you could be paying up to 600,000 naira in annual gym fees. Get the SportX treadmill to save the cost and work out from the convenience of your home. You could pay 500,000 naira for a treadmill like this, but you can get the SportX treadmill for not 400,000 naira, not even 300 naira. Order right now and get for just 264,950 naira only. But wait, there's more. If you order now, you get the SportX Digital Compact Treadmill delivered to you for free wherever you are in Nigeria. And it comes with a ShopX 30-day money-back guarantee. Hurry, limited stock available. So, call the number on your screen now or visit our website to place your order while stock lasts. The proceeding was a paid presentation brought to you by ShopX TV.
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.